Well, good evening, folks. Here I am, Tony, at my little bit of paradise. I have one thing I would like to get comments from, because I'm stuck here in Cali, Colombia, and I have other things that I want to share with everyone. I'm trying to think of a different name for my channel. Right now it's a little bit of paradise, but probably if you've noted that I keep talking about Rodadero Santa Marta, because that is where my paradise is, not here in Cali, Colombia. I'm stuck in Cali, Colombia because of the pandemic. So I have in mind thinking about other things I can put on my channel for you to enjoy, not just around the city, because the city doesn't have that much to offer after you've shown a few things about it. Rodadero has more, the beach and different things going on there. So, if you'll please tap on subscribe and on the like button, and then tap on comments, and leave me a comment as to what you think the title of my channel should be. I want to change it around a little bit. So I'm thinking, could it be Adventures in Colombia? Could it be Having Fun or Suffering? Good or bad in Colombia? Whatever you folks think would be a good idea, put it down there and then share that with me. Today, I don't have a whole lot to say, but I want to make a comment about what I've been reading and what I've been hearing on television here in Cali, Colombia. I've been reading a lot about the United States. A lot of these different states, because the pandemic is spreading all over the U.S. still. The airlines are still not flying here to Cali. The airports are closed. In Santa Marta, the airport is closed, and I have heard nothing about International Airport in Bogota, Colombia, being open yet. Might be, but we haven't heard it here. And definitely Cali is not open to commercial travel, with the exception of cargo planes. But anyway, back to my thoughts about the United States. I've been looking because I have a desire to go back at least to Florida to reminisce about Florida, about Tampa, Florida, where I lived, and Orlando, Florida, where my brother-in-law lives, the beach. So, as I'm thinking about these things, I'm reading what the possibilities are of going. Not going to happen anytime soon. In fact, I see where people are going from one state to another state within the United States. A lot of people are being blocked. They're actually giving lists. As an example, you want to go to California, if you live in certain states, you can't do it. There's a long list of states where they're requiring a 14-day quarantine if you're going to visit that state. So if you don't live there, you're stuck. If you only want to be there for 10 days, you're going to be in quarantine for 10 days, and you can't do anything. But I thought what was significant about that is, I'm trying to get the light just right on the camera so you can enjoy it. But anyways, I thought what was significant about that is, if a person goes to a different state, and you're on that list of states not welcome, where the people are not welcome to visit, they will tack on a $1,000 fine because you're not being obedient to the quarantine rules. You want to do your own thing and go anyway, you get a $1,000 fine. How to getting on the airplane to go there is anybody's guess. I guess money talks. You pay for a ticket, you're in one state, and you're going to a state where you're not supposed to go. Airlines will not say, no, you can't go. They'll take your money and you get on the plane and you're gone. I thought that was interesting. Then I read something else there on Google, is where I read it, about certain planes, certain airlines, are no longer having first-class seats. Now, I don't want to mention the airlines themselves because I don't want to give them advertisement on my channel. But you can look, you can see the certain airlines from certain countries that are eliminating first-class seating on their planes. And these are the international travelers, not the domestic that I'm reading about, but the international flights. They are eliminating first-class seating. Most of it will be the regular passengers. And I noticed that they're trying to separate the people by blocking the middle rows or the middle seats. And how they're spacing people apart, I guess the reservation agent will see what seats are available and they'll try to put you in certain seats. How that's going to work if you and your wife or you and your partners are traveling together, I don't know. But I did notice one airline. I looked at the picture they had, and this was for first class, still available. But they're very, very private, and they have doors separate them from everybody else. And of course, the stewardess are above you, so when they give you things, they give it to you on your table, and they don't touch you. So it's completely isolated. But I'm understanding that you still have to wear a mask. On any flight, you have to wear a mask. I may be wrong about that, but that's what I'm reading. That's how I'm understanding it. So, those are the things I'm finding out. And I read something else. My age is catching up with me. It's talking to me. Because I can't remember some of the things I'm reading. Fortunately, I don't mention anything unless I see where the media is telling us that. And that's the key thing. It's the media telling us that. So how accurate it is based upon the person who's writing the story, take it with a grain of salt. I don't claim that anybody that saying anything that I'm reading is absolutely correct. I'm just reading what they're writing. Not my opinion. And none of these things are they're my opinion, but they're not made in stone. In other words, I can't validate or not validate what the people are saying. I'm just reading like everybody else is and understanding things the way everybody else is understanding them. Well, if they're saying that and somebody else is saying that, possibly it's true. So, that, reading the media on Google plus television, the two together kind of makes it more valid. So at least that's what we the normal people live by, what they're telling us. I would hate for them to say in the media that yes, you can fly, and then go to the airport and say no, we're not flying. And then I say, well, I saw it on Google. I said, we're sorry, the information was misinformation. That's what I'm trying to avoid. I mean, that happens regularly when there's no pandemic. So, I don't have much more to say about that, but I wanted to mention those things because I read those, and if you haven't read it or heard it, I wanted to share what I have read with you. I'm going to take it with a grain of salt how true or how not true the media is. And I'm trying to think, what else did I read today? Oh, I read also that supposedly tomorrow, which is Monday, the government is going to propose the second stimulus package. We're going to read about what they're proposing. It's not passing, they're just proposing something. And so we hope to see what that proposal is. It's supposed to have another $1,200 stimulus check for everybody. I think when I say everybody, it's for people whose annual income is $40,000 or less. So we'll see how that proposal goes and if it transpires tomorrow. So that's all there is for now. If I find something else interesting, I'll share it with you. And by the way, I am still looking at the Philippines. Beautiful place. And I'm looking at, there's one place that looks nice, Dumaguete. There's another one, Cebu City. And I think from Los Angeles, it goes straight to Cebu City or Manila. And I thought, well, maybe I'll investigate Cebu City and Dumaguete to see what that's like. Now, certain restrictions that I have to meet in order to travel, so that's why I'm keeping a daily view on that. And I know a couple of people who I've met, I should say, a couple of people who are expats, Americans or foreigners who speak whose principal language is English, live there in the Philippines. So I'm relying upon what they're saying to give us advice on what to do or how to prepare for visiting there or actually moving. Because they actually moved, they actually went there. One of them had a one-way ticket from, I believe he said it was either Las Vegas, Nevada, or someplace in California. Went straight to the Philippines, Dumaguete, on his own, single. It was a one-way ticket, and he gave it 3 months to say either yes, I want to stay here, or go back to where he came from in California, I think it was, or Las Vegas, Nevada. But he stayed. Now it's been, I think he said, 3 years, and he might go back to visit his family once and come back. And he has a girlfriend now. He mentioned that he was there by himself for about 6 months, and then he brought in a girlfriend to live with him. There's another guy there, one from Australia, another one also from America. So more and more expats, or more and more English-speaking foreigners are moving to the Philippines. So it got me curious, how is the Philippines compared to Botadero? They both have beaches, both beautiful places. And I found that the whole housing, the structure of the housing, is somewhat similar there to here in Colombia. And certainly the cost of living is very, very similar as well. So that's what got me perked up to think, let me look at the Philippines, Dumaguete, Cebu City, and other places where I might want to visit. And there's one gentleman who's kind enough to give us a tour all over the Philippines. His principal language is English from the United States. And he's showing us everything. The cost of living, how to get around by bus or by boat, or by moto if you're brave enough to rent one and ride on one. So lots of information from the Philippines that I'm viewing, enjoying their channels, giving me information in the event, or when, I shouldn't say in the event, but when I decide I want to go visit the Philippines and for how long. Now, they do have a quarantine there. I think it's 14 days, so you have to stay a little bit longer than just 10 days or a week. And a lot of restrictions. So I have to see if I would qualify because of the restrictions. They didn't have the restrictions before the pandemic, but they have them now. So you gotta be really healthy. And there's one gentleman who I'm familiar with now. When he first got there, he had a heart attack. So, and he's 65. I'm 73. Another man here also is in his 70s, so he's healthy too. But all of us who are retired want to get away from the U.S. I did. I came here to Colombia. And I found my paradise in Botadero, Santa Marta, Colombia. But if I decide to change that, I look at other alternatives, and Philippines is the other alternative. So when this pandemic is over with, I go back home to Botadero, enjoy it there, and then I'll be able to make a comparison. Do I want to stay in Botadero, or does the Philippines look more attractive to me? I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. Anyway, I'm going to say good night for now, and you have a real good evening, and see you the next time. Ciao.